Kicfm.
For more info on Kicfm, what we do when we do it, and how you can do it, log on to www.kicfm.com.
87.7.
87.7. Kicfm.
So yes, people, welcome back. That was Judas from Lady Gaga, and I'm now joined in the studio by Wolverhampton Stuntman, Starmash. Welcome to the studio.
Afternoon, James. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Thank you for coming down again to Kicfm. Now, if you don't know Starmash already, he is a... Well, would you like to just tell me?
Well, basically I do a stunt on a Charles bike around Wolverhampton town centre and any city centre really. Just go around promoting cycling.
That's
and
cool.
Having a good time.
It's too right. So, I think I've seen you in Wolverhampton before. I'm sure I've seen you doing I've seen you doing something around Wolverhampton. But yeah, Starmash is basically a massive stunt man. Oh, you'll see him around Wolverhampton doing all sorts of stunts. I've seen quite a few pictures of you jumping over people on your bike and everything.
Yeah,
it seems a bit...
That's one of the acts.
I'd never do that on my bike. I'd break my neck.
Oh, you'll have to lie down then.
I know. Anyway, I've got first question. Got first question. So, what actually inspired you to do what you do as a rider stuntman?
What inspired me originally was, a lot of friends used to ride bikes. I used to ride bikes. We used to do the same tricks every day, day in, day out. And I just decided one day I'm going to hop on a bench and see how it goes. And it went from there, really.
That's cool.
Sort of what inspires me nowadays is trying to get the next generation into trials riding, and showing them the road.
Did you say you've been riding since the age of 15?
Yeah, thereabouts.
You've been riding for quite a long time, haven't you? So
15 was when I sort of done the first big trick, jumping off the phone box and knackering my bike. So
phone box, that's mad.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd never jump off a phone box on a bike, not on a bike. But yeah, you said you started off doing downhill riding and then you moved to BMX.
Yeah.
So how did it move from BMX to... Is there a difference between BMXing and doing what you do now?
There's sort of a difference between BMX and trials riding.
Yeah.
I mean, it's two different disciplines. BMXing's, jumps and street. Trials riding's getting over obstacles without putting your foot down. What I do at the moment, sort of street trials. So I'm doing BMXy type balance, riding on a street environment, utilising street furniture and walls. You name it, and balancing really.
You must have to have a hell of a lot of balance just to jump off these different things. Oh God, it's mad, absolutely mad. But yeah, so you're trying to inspire young people under 20 now. So how are you? What's your plans to get that going? Inspire young people?
Well, there's been no sort of plan as such. I've got a PR lady. I've got a brilliant team behind me, back me.
Yeah.
But really, the best thing that I've found is just turning up at skate parks, anywhere where there's young people. And just riding, and they'll ask the questions, and then you can show them where they're going wrong, and I get inspiration off them from they're trying a trick that I've probably never tried before. So
now I've already had people pop up on the Facebook page saying, I've seen him at the skate park in Wolverhampton and everything. Yeah. So you've been seen by a lot of Kick listeners today. So what type of stunts do you do, and what's the biggest stunt you've ever done? Because there must be a really daredevil stunt that you've done, and it's and you thought, wow, that's actually quite...
Yeah, I think the most dangerous certainly is I go and balance on cliff edges and stuff over Kimver Edge and stuff, and ride on the edges and that. That's probably the most dangerous. But I mean, there's a lot of spins and stuff that are complex where there could be serious damage to your body if you you land it wrong.
Does it ever scare you when you're doing it off an edge of a cliff? Because that would really scare me.
I mean, if you think about it, it just ends up you just won't do it. You'll go over handlebars. You've got to have some sort of faith in what you're doing and that. But today, touch wood, I haven't broke a bone.
Good.
So
I think, considering you've been doing it since the age of 15, you've done very well. If that was me, I'd have broken my neck already and been in A&E. But that's just how I am, to be honest. But how fit do you have to be a rider?
How fit?
You must have to have a lot of fitness to, just to have the balance and the agility just to move around.
I mean, you can balance on the spot and it tires you because you're using all your muscles in your arm, all the tiny muscles you probably don't even know you've got. So, I mean, if you're doing it competitively, you have to be fit. You have to be athletic.
'Cause it must take a lot out of you when you're doing it like, in front of people.
Yeah, I mean, and your recovery rate's got to be quick because you've got to go to the next stunt. Like you'll go off a wall, up onto a bench, onto a bin, down, and do a 180 or something.
You just go on whatever.
Yeah, so,
whatever's in front of you.
Yeah, whatever's in front, I'll try and get over.
Because you've done a lot of work in Wolverhampton town centre around Queen Square, haven't you? Around the Man on the Horse.
Correct.
All those different things. If you look on Starmash's Facebook page, which he'll tell you a bit more about after, you can actually look at the pictures and some of the things he's doing, like jumping off these different fountains and all that. Absolute crazy. But how much work have you done around that area?
What, Wolverhampton?
Yeah.
Wolverhampton's my home city, hometown, like city, so it's sort of revisiting my roots, because I mean I went off for a bit and I never rode Wolverhampton or Wentzfield or any of the surrounding areas, and I was doing a lot of work in the outskirts of Wales, because I lived in Wales at a point.
So is that where you started off originally?
No, I started off originally in Wentzfield High Street and stuff, with my friends, and and I mean I hadn't been around Wolverhampton for quite a few years riding, and I've just sort of come back here and I'm sort of stuck in my roots.
You just like moulded yourself into the different places and where's the best place to do it and all that type of stuff. Yeah, that's quite cool. So I'm just shocked by the amount of things you've done, like jumping off cliff sides and everything. So if you was to, what's the furthest thing you've actually done in your career of bike riding, stunt riding?
Stunt riding. Probably the phone box would be the highest thing I've hopped off to date. Yeah. I've done quite a few sort of big spins off large drops. Yeah. But I think probably the most thing I'm known for is hopping over people, hopping over lines of people.
Now, I've got to ask you a question. How many people? What's the most amount of people that you've jumped over?
I think the one day we squeezed lots of people together and had people on top of each other, and it was about somebody, from what I can remember, because this was before YouTube when we had a video, it was about 17 and a half.
17 and a half?
But that was on a hill going down, so it was like a bunny up, and
that's still a lot of people. That's still a lot of people to have your responsibility on. Jumping over them. That's absolutely crazy.
I mean, the last person got landed on, hence the 17 and a half. But
I think 17's the stopping point. Is it? That's less how far you got to jump, but Yeah, I'm just thinking of all these different things you've actually done. So, what would you say the highest point in your career doing what you do has been?
Personally, I've done a lot of work over the past few months with Wentzfield Brownies and Scouts and that, just helping them with a cycle badge, really. I mean, because people have saw me knocking about and saw me, on the bike, I was asked to go in there and give them a hand, and it was only something that was supposed to last 2 weeks, like two weeks, the whole thing, 2 nights each week. And I found myself going back there for like 4 weeks, just helping these children, trying to get them balancing on the bikes, and so they've got some sort of road sense. And
it's so different, isn't it? Because it's not like football, rugby, or the normal type of sport. It's like its own exotic sport in its own way, really, isn't it?
Correct.
And if you go to any schools, you'll see so many BMXs parked up on the on all the bike rigs and everything, and I think there's quite a big generation of bikers coming up.
Yeah, I think with the cost of petrol and stuff, I think the people leaving school will be turning to two wheels, certainly pedal power as opposed to petrol.
Think you're right, But no, I definitely think it's going to get higher and higher in what the type of stuff you do for young people.
Yeah, I mean it's not an Olympic sport at the moment, but I think it's certainly us in the trials community. We're trying to get this project together at the same time as the Olympics, the 2012 Olympics, to sort of give us some sort of
because don't they do BMXing?
They do BMXing.
I've heard they do BMXing.
Yeah, and mountain biking and that. But trials is a sort of it's not a recognised.
Yeah. So who knows?
Sport, really.
But I don't really know much about the the stunt world and that type of stuff. So is there any competitions type things that you can enter?
There's different categories that you can enter. There's different competitions you can enter. I mean, there's one down in Bristol for the Red Bull Street session last month, which was quite a good sort of experience. Certainly for people onlookers to see what can be done if you put your mind to it. There's lots of master sort of competitions where you have to know what you're doing. But there is a lot of stuff out there. It's just not it's not.
I think it's being seen, but then it just needs to be seen a bit more just to get even bigger than it is already.
Publicity, yeah.
Do you know what, I think it's probably really big because around Wolverhampton, because Wolverhampton's a really urban area as it is at the moment with the skate park and everywhere, and I think it is a really popular place to BMX stunt, whatever. It's quite a good tent. I mean, I know the teenagers certainly get a bad reputation, and I think it's a minority that actually cause it. Yeah,
I mean, certainly the people I come across, they never pose me any problem, and they're pretty sound to you. I mean, because
you must work.
Right.
Yeah, you must work with a lot of young people, like in your daily life of doing stunts and everything.
Yeah.
Like, say when you've gone down to a skate park, and like you must inspire people and help them do what. Like teach them other things like the ropes. I
hope I sort of do. I mean, I've come across quite a few people. They're always asking questions, and if I can't help them, they sort of find me on Starmash, and they'll email me for a few weeks.
I've got to ask you a question. Where did you get the name Starmash from?
The Starmash name come from basically I used to hand out for the people who sort of participated in the tricks like lying down. I used to hand out free Haribo, and I used to eat quite a lot of the Haribo. Star Mix was my favourite, and I used to eat it, and somebody thought of kids and grown-ups love him, so the Happy World of Paul Court, and then sort of somebody said Starmash, and that's how it sort of came about, and it's stuck ever since.
It's a really exotic name, but I think it stands out, doesn't it? Because a lot of stunt people, they just go by their own name, but and finally, did you want to just plug what you do, Facebook, all the works?
Yeah, I mean, Starmash is my Facebook page. If you just want to go on there, like it. Facebook. Any questions, email me, on there. My YouTube address is on there. Cool. Watch the videos. And if anybody wants, knows of anywhere that they want me to come and visit, just put it on the wall, and we'll make a trip down there. Yeah.
So there you are, Starmash, Stuntman. If you're interested in doing stunts, doing BMXing, then Starmash is your man. And I hear you have an actual request.
Yeah, can I have...
For Kicfm?
Yeah, can I have The Cure, Just Like Heaven, please?
Yes, we'll get that right now. Thanks again, Starmash, for coming on the James Levett Show. And we got a bit of a request from him now with The Cure, Just Like Heaven. This is Kicfm.
Kicfm. For more info on Kicfm, what we do when we do it, and how you can do it, log on to www.kicfm.com.
87.7.
87.7.
Kicfm.
Kicfm.